And did we come back with a bang, y'all? Like this game, holy moly. First of all, I want to say the stadium tonight was amazing. I love, like, it felt like a playoff game. Like, this is what home openers are supposed to be. Like, this is how they are supposed to be. And we didn't have to wait very long to have something to cheer about.
No, we didn't.
Our Pina Prince decided, you know what, let's get the offense started quickly. Lourdes Gurriel hits an absolute nuke to left. Like, he knew it right away, and the whole stadium knew it right away. So
yeah, dude, from my seats, there's a certain angle when you see the ball, you're just instantly like, holy shit. Just watch it, like, how far is that gonna go? That was insane. That was a great way to start the season.
Yeah, it, like, just right off the bat. First of all, if this is your first time checking this out, we are Dbacks Dispatch. Brandon, Brett, and Gabe. We're somewhat new Dbacks podcast, so we do appreciate you for stopping by. If this is your first time on the channel, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe so you don't miss any of our future content. We're doing lots of game reviews, series reviews. We got a lot of content out there. Gabe was cooking today on the tweets, y'all. Dude, Gabe was on fire with the tweet recaps today. Like, there were some, I'm like, that is so, like, anyone that knows Gabe, they're like, yep, Gabe's the one tweeting tonight, because they're so clever. Like,
Man,
Gabe,
it was like Gordon Ramsay out there with a goddamn, like, 12-course meal. Every tweet just cooking.
I was
tweet.
like, so
also
great.
For me, I'm like, the main problem I had was just like, literally, I was just writing to it, and then they would have another hit. I'm like, stop. Like,
right in that third inning. Like, in the third inning, you're like, what am I supposed to do?
There was so much going on there where I was like, I'm running out of, like, things to yell about now. Like, damn. Which I yell about a lot of things, so it's kind of rare for me. But...
You really do, sir. You really do. I do want to talk about congratulations to Uncle Blaze. Made the opening day roster, and they designated for Simon Emmanuel Rivera. I cannot believe it.
Yeah,
I thought they would have signed to Reno.
Because no one's claiming him. I can tell you, no one's gonna claim him. So
I could see maybe like the Pirates or somebody for
Oakland, probably.
Somebody will claim him. They'll land somewhere.
Yeah.
But just it depends on if it's. I don't think a competitor will claim him, but some major league roster will claim him.
You know what would be hilarious if it's the Royals?
I honestly was just thinking the same thing. I was like, what if the Royals just taking back him and Luke Weaver can be like, "Sup, dog? How you doing?" You know.
So, for those of you that missed it, I'm just gonna recap this third inning. So you're gonna have to be patient with me. So
yeah, grab your popcorn and relax because it's gonna be a minute.
Perdomo single, Cattell single, Corbin walk, Gurriel single, Walker double, which he absolutely murdered that ball. Was it 113 or 114 off the bat? Like, he just absolutely crushed that thing. Gabby single, Suarez single. Blaze got a fly out. So what is that? Like 7 straight hits to start.
Yeah.
And then we're at 7 runs there. I mean, 7 total runs, but it was 5 in that inning. Then Alec hits a double. They then do a pitching change.
Look, Wes, again, let's go. Alec, you did it.
Yes, I'm starting to get it, y'all. Perdomo up again, hits a single. Patel again hits a single. Corbin again walks. Gurriel, single. Walker, single. Gabby, double. Suarez gets a sac fly, so it's a productive out. And my favorite part of the inning, Blaze Alexander gets his first career hit. So congratulations to Blaze Xander. Hopefully the first of many. And then Alec grounds out. So, Sarah, like, I don't know how many of you were paying attention. It wasn't, they weren't slugging. They were just next man up, station to station. And they just kept doing it. And, like, they weren't hard to hit. They were just taking what Freeland was giving them. And they were just moving the guy up station to station. Like, I think the only real hard hit ball was Walker. Everything else was, you could say, was normal contact. So, absolutely, this entire episode could just be on that third inning.
There was so much, man. Like,
because it's the highlight. Like, that's all there was. And outside of the third inning, this game was kind of boring. And also
I want to
44 minutes, by the way.
Yeah.
That bottom of the third. And we still finished under 3 hours. That boggles my mind, by the way.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, 44 minutes, and it was like, what, 2 hours, like 50, maybe 45 minutes? So it could have genuinely been a 2 hour and 15-minute game at the rate it was going. But I was going to say, I want to note, these uniforms, man, with these new lights, look so goddamn good. The helmets, the jerseys, the cleats the players are wearing, like Zach's cleats. Oh my goodness, they're cooking with the uniforms this year, man. Already, it's one day. And also, opening day W, what happens when you turn the W upside down? You get an M. Opening day Miller. So cheers.
Yeah, actually, when it comes to the time, I have an answer as to why it ended so quick. After Gallon, the bullpen went 4 innings. They allowed 1 hit and 1 walk. And that was
Castro was a part of that too.
4 innings.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was us that tweeted it, but someone's like, and here in the bottom of the 9th, Dbacks lose 26-25. Like, someone made a joke because it was going to be Castro pitch and he was going to blow it. He didn't. He looked pretty good. Like, what was it? McGuff, Castro. Hold up. McGuff, Castro, Kyle Nelson, Frias.
Yeah.
I mean,
again,
we didn't.
He just shows that he's not a, super high leverage inning guy. He can get outs, man, with his stuff and his movement. He can get outs. Like, that's why, like, trust me, I know a lot of fans were like, why do we keep Castro? Like, why did he make the opening day roster? I get it.
Because he's just not good high leverage.
He's a good reliever. He's not good in the Ginkel Thompson Seawald situations, but
he doesn't have to now.
Him to be in those situations. And again, he did have some of his blowups again last year. Some of the few, we all know the World Series. Yes, again. But again, that's a high leverage situation. You take him out of any one of those, he is good.
Yeah, I think he's perfect for, like, either the 5th or the 6th inning. Put him out there. I think he gets the job done. Last year he struggled when he was put in the 8th and the 9th. But as we said before, it's like, what else is Torrey going to do at that time? It's like he had nothing. It was either Castro or McGuff. And, if McGuff pitched the day before, then what is he going to do? So he has to put in Castro. Also, I wanted to mention some stuff, too. The lights, they're so freaking sweet.
Dude,
like, I was waiting.
They really are.
Yeah, they have a whole light show now. I'm like, I love seeing that. Not some old... I mean, I do like the old style of the lights. They're really cool looking. But just having the ability to put on a light show, to turn off the lights suddenly, to turn it back on, and it's so freaking sweet. And
I love how we didn't have to wait very long to see what it would look like with a home run.
Yeah, right.
I was like, bottom of the first, let's do this, y'all.
I'm thankful too because, like, so we showed up early. Like, me and my mom got there like 4:30, or we got there like 3:45, 4. Gates opened at 4:30 for us. Got in, walked around. Not gonna lie, again, for you guys that have not been down there yet, there's a lot of changes, especially to the lower level. I feel like they've upgraded. It doesn't feel as like 90s, 2000s ish with like it's hard to explain it, but that kind of vibe from the lower level, it felt like early 2000s with how the concessions, everything was. They've added some pretty decent new concessions. They've changed around some of it. They got a bunch of new food. It felt different. Like I don't know, like the vibe there alone. It felt like, I know one of the tweets you put out, Gabe, where it was like, oh, Steve Kerr, the Warriors for the coach for the Warriors, right?
Oh,
His name?
might have been. Was that you, Brent, or Josh?
No, that was not me. I think that was
Yeah, it might have
Josh.
been Josh.
That was Josh. So yeah, Josh put out the tweet about like Steve Kerr not going to the Dbacks game because like a club.
It's
Not
too
gonna lie,
much of a vibe.
it was kind of nice. Like I liked, maybe it's just DJ Rockwild or whatever. I enjoyed the kind of upbeat vibe there was. There was a lot going on. It just felt different than even some of the last like regular season games. It felt like a playoff game. Like I know you said that at the beginning, Brandon, where like the crowd, like that energy, even just everything else. It felt like the stadium, like the rally backs and like their new uniforms and like the revamped whole rally backs like entertainment thing. It just, I don't know, everything felt like a new fresh like energy. Best way to describe it. I don't know how. Like I know you were also there, so I'm interested in your take. And then Gabe, I know you were watching on TV, so like you might have been able to hear some of the crowd, but
No,
there was
I was
way
I
more
was at the
Let's Go
stadium.
I
Jacks
think Gabe
fans.
was there.
I was there.
You were there, right, Gabe? Okay,
Yeah.
so all three of us were there then. Perfect. So like the crowd was amazing the entire time. Like there was a different vibe at the stadium than I got from previous D-backs games. I don't know how to explain it.
I think
Well,
everybody was there, was ready to go. I mean, there was 49,011 fans there. These last couple of opening days that I've gone to, they've been hovering around 35,000. We were talking about a 15,000 increase, because last year it felt empty, honestly. When I went to opening day, it felt really empty and it kind of depressing. I mean, I was fine with it just because I can get concessions. This time it was like
highest regular
49,000.
season game attendance since 2019, I believe, is what Jesse put out.
Yep.
Like
Yeah.
obviously not including playoffs, but like every opening, like regular season game, every opening day included. That's crazy.
What I'm curious is, what is it tomorrow?
Yeah, I was kind of thinking the same. I'm thinking it might be like 32. I'm thinking plus 30, like 30 plus thousand.
Just like, yeah, I'm like, if you can get like 25 plus,
I
like,
might go. I might try to like talk to wife and be like, hey, you want to go tonight? Let's go tomorrow. You got
It's
the day
also
off.
giveaway day too, to have a shirt tomorrow. So, the giveaway days always do a little bit better too.
True.
they also have a
true.
major giveaway on Saturday. Like,
Saturday.
y'all, you're gonna have to get there so early if you want that Corbin Carroll
Yeah.
Rookie of the Year.
Genuinely, like it might be like what the 2011 ring giveaway was, where me and my grandpa had to
Oh,
get
yeah.
there 3 hours early. And
I
we
might get
still
there at 2
barely got-
o'clock. I might
Yeah.
get there at 2. And
Is
I'm
this
like,
what-
all right,
Is it a 5:40 game or a 6?
let's see here. But so a couple of other interesting stats to kind of note about that third inning. 18 batters came to the plate. That is unheard of.
That's literally MLB The Show shit. I do that. I do that when I'm playing the Rockies on rookie mode when I want to just grind stats. That doesn't happen
5'10".
in real life.
5:10 first pitch on Saturday. So yeah, probably want to get there at like 2 o'clock. And I'm like, I'm gonna bring a phone charger because I know I'm gonna go through my like, what am I supposed to do till like 4 o'clock? So because I want that bobblehead, and like it was in 2022, there was one giveaway. There was a shirt I wanted to get. I thought getting there 90 minutes early, I'd be good. No, they were gone. So I was like, all right, every giveaway. And like, it's not that you have to get there right when gates open, because there's going to be a line. And I think it's the first 30,000.
You
Get
still
the
want to be in the line though. That's the thing. You want to be in
Correct,
like
yeah.
a decent part of the line.
So maybe get there like 30, 45 minutes before the gate opens, and just, if you want it. And the thing that I don't like about these giveaways is you'll see people get it, and then you'll see them walking on the street heading back to their car.
I mean, some of them I get, they don't want to, like, I totally understand that you don't want to carry it around if that's the case.
But I've seen some people have multiple, and I'm like,
Oh yeah,
they're not even going to the
there are
game.
scalpers, they just want to sell it and just have more. Those people suck. But I understand the people that are like, it's a family with like 4 or 5 kids that they have 7 bobbleheads, and the dad's like, I'm not holding these in the entire time. I'm going to the car.
Yeah,
And then
that's us.
also the whole bag policy. You're like, this isn't gonna fit in a clear bag.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, it sucks, but easy. I'm not gonna lie, easy solution. Amazon, it's like $10 for a clear bag that can fit. It's like easily like 11 by 14 ish, and you can buy Diamondback stickers from Walmart for $5. The same exact bag you can make at home. You can get from the Dbacks team shop for $50. Save some money. Make 2 or 3 of them. You can bring in. You can also bring in food in case you guys didn't know. Like you can literally bring in like let's say make spaghetti. Say make some spaghetti. Throw in a clear Tupperware container. You can bring that in the stadium. You can bring
Really?
anything in a clear. You can bring in anything in a clear stadium, like in a clear container to the stadium. They will let you bring it in.
What's the
And like you
spaghetti
can
policy?
make food. Like I've seen people like that's where I was like, okay, there's no way you're letting people bring in, like homemade food. No, dude, there was a couple in front of me in Kayla one time at a game. They just pop open their Tupperware container, have their spoon or their spoon, LMAO, their fork just eating cold spaghetti just out of the Tupperware container. And I was like, you can do that? And I asked the one of the security guards, and they're like, yeah, if you bring it in a clear container, sandwich, anything, if it's in a clear
Go ahead.
container, you can bring it. So a good little tip for anybody that
Maybe
doesn't
I'll
want to
do that on Saturday.
if you don't want to spend money at the game, prep some food before the game. You can even bring in like seeds and obviously bottles of water unopened, but food in a clear Tupperware-ish kind of container, they will let you bring in.
What if I bring a bunch of shooters in a clear container?
Again, they don't check it. They're pretty clear. They're pretty chill with a lot of
Yeah.
the Diamondback security versus the Sun security is insanely different. Like I had to take off my hat. They were basically like, "Oh, can we check your bell? Like all your pockets empty." And the Diamondbacks are just like, "You got a ticket? All right, what's up, man? Welcome in. Get a beer. Have fun."
Yeah. So some very other notables from that third inning. 14 runs in a single inning, franchise record. 13 hits, single inning, franchise record. Also, another record courtesy of Dbacks PR. Lourdes Gurriel Jr. has set the franchise record for RBI on an opening day with 5.
That's kind of low, Ryan. Like I feel like that's pretty low for an opening day. Like nobody hit a.
Okay.
Historically, we do not.
I mean,
have
Mookie Betts had like 45
No.
RBI.
This for the D-backs.
Team record.
I know, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying for the D-backs even. Like we've had 26, 27 opening days. I'm like, you're telling me they haven't had more than 5 RBI? Like that's what I'm saying. It feels kind of low to me.
It might be spread out more. Like maybe the entire team has like 2 or 3 throughout, instead of just like one person having 5. I don't know.
Yeah, but I'm saying, like, I just feel like with how much offense we've had lately, not just the D-backs, but like around the league, that the record is what. So if you had 5, then what the record was 4?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of low.
I would
man.
assume so. Like, it'd be crazy if it was just 3.
All I know is this is the universe paying me back personally for having to witness in 2016 Greinke's debut against the Rockies and Trevor Story and the Rockies do dirty things to him and ruin my time at the ballpark. This 14-run inning was genuinely just please.
Also,
again,
another thing that I'm worried about, because they did it last year, they'll do this and then they get 3 hits per game the next 3 games.
I don't know. Like this is one of the things that I kind of trying to be on the more copy / positive side of it. With the new additions to the lineup, with Suarez, if Alec can hit the way he hit, and
there's no
some of the bats were okay, but there's not really holes in the lineup. Domo almost had a home run. Like
I wanted him to hit that one. So he almost had 3 hits in an inning too.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like this lineup has the potential. Like where last year, again, I know it. Not to dog on the man, but when you got dudes like Emmanuel Rivera and
Rojas.
Nick Ahmed that are getting, and Rojas that are getting where you're, okay, yeah, this guy can put the ball in play every now and then, but they're not a threat in the lineup. They're not somebody that, they could put the ball in play, but is that ball in play going to be a double down the line in the corner? Is it going to be a ripper in the gap? Is it going to be a moonshot? You don't know necessarily. It could be a chopper in the infield and they have enough speed to beat it out, like Corbin, like Alec, like Jake McCarthy. There's a lot of ways they can, this offense can work now.
I tweeted about it. I mean, half jokingly, saying that Tell, Carroll, and Gurriel, was better than the Betts, Otani, and Freeman thing.
If Dodger fans find that tweet,
oh yeah, I know they're gonna be in there sending death threats. Like, I don't care. But my point of doing that is just like how deep this team is. It's like, okay, if you want to go up against Cattell, you can't walk him because Carroll's after him, or vice versa. When they go against righties, after him you got Gurriel, who can hit home runs, he hit a bunch of doubles. After him you got Walker, and then you got Moreno, and then you got Suarez, and then you got
Jock when we're facing
Jock. And you have so many guys where it's just like, literally it's nonstop. I'm like, where do you end? Because you even think, okay, maybe we can get to Alec. And, what Bob Costas is talking about, the lowly Alec Thomas hits 230 against this Hall of Famer or whatever crap he said during the playoffs. He can get on base. I mean, he grinded out some at-bats. He was hitting lefties. Like, this is a new Alec Thomas that we're seeing. This is a new team that we're seeing. There's literally nothing here where you see and you're like, all right, well, we can get to Rivera. We can get to Longo. Like, there's nothing about this team that I would assume even a pitcher is going to feel like, okay, now I can relax. I can maybe walk this guy. I can nibble around. You can't nibble around with any of these guys. And I also wanted to mention the fact that, like, they came out swinging against Freeland on these last couple of years. They've been so freaking patient to the point, like, to a fault during the first few games of the season, where they do have a lot of walks, but they're just, last year I remember, they were just staring down a strike three over and over and over and over again.
An entire lineup of Perdomos.
Yeah, they're all just staring down at strike threes, and I'm like, oh, what are they doing? I mean, that's why they got the answer backs, because the first couple of innings, they really were just not swinging at all.
Patient. And then
being
Daniel 7, 8, 9. So now we can be aggressive because we're down by 3.
Yeah. And also I would assume it was so you can, get an eye on the actual pitches and everything like that.
Yeah.
But this time they all came out swinging. I mean, Gabby was hacking super hard. He was going for a home run every single time he went home.
He really was today.
And I mean, they all sort of were for the most part against Freeland. And after, when the relievers came in, they were starting to be more patient, taking more pitches, hitting singles, and then that's when that third inning came around, which also no home runs during that inning. A lot of singles, a lot of doubles, not a single triple.
That was mind-boggling. You score 14 runs with 13 hits. No,
only singles and doubles and walks.
Like, that is outrageous to me. So,
I know Corbin didn't have the best night. Obviously, I was
going to bring this up.
But he had
overreaction. Should we be worried about a Corbin sophomore club?
So the nice thing is, like, and trust me, like, again, you know me, the overreactor. I'm the overreactor of this.
Yes, you are.
So even I was going into it, I was like, all right, we need Corbin to have a good day, so people don't think he's gonna have a soft.
He had 2 walks. He got on base.
And that's where even he had two walks. Some of the, like, his at bats were good, and that's where if you just box score watch, things can be a little oh, this is unfortunate, or this is a little bit of worrisome. It's
when a lot of people are.
I feel like baseball is one of those sports, especially where you can just box score watch and miss a very good chunk of what's actually going on. Like, they could be putting up insanely good at bats. Like Christian Walker didn't have, like, the best night either, but he had, like, an insane, like, I don't know how many pitches, but what, like, an 11 pitch at bat?
It was 10 pitches at the end.
10 pitches, yeah. So it was getting up there, and it led to a walk where, you see, he had a walk where, it wasn't just like it was a walk, but, like, that was a great at bat. That was really good to see. Same with, like, Corbin. Alec had some really good at bats. Perdomo had some good at bats. Like, the entire lineup, like Suarez, which Josh mentioned in our little chat here, he was killing it at third. That leaping play he had.
I'm not surprised, y'all. He's a really good defensive third baseman.
I'm saying, man, we filled the holes we needed to fill, and it showed out on opening day.
Yeah,
he wasn't the only one. Walker also made a very good play in the second. I'm like, Walker makes it look so easy. Like, it's not even close. he's the best defensive first baseman in baseball, and it's not even close. And we've seen it the last 2 years for NL Gold Glove voting. Like, it's just him. Like, yes, they have to have 3 finalists, but we all know it's going to Christian.
Yeah, I want to mention the defense too, because the main one that they mentioned on the radio was the Suarez and then the Allen catch. But right before the Suarez one was also that liner that Cattell got. He knocked it down, was able to get the out at first, and then it was the Suarez one. But then a little while after that one was the Christian Walker, the ground ball to him that was hit pretty decently. And he had to reach all the way to the side. I mean, he was far off the base. He was down right like where Cattell usually is. He was able to get it, give it to Gallen, and they got the out. And then obviously the Allen catch was incredible. But then Walker again the over the hand
makes it look so
catch.
easy.
And then also and treated it out to Gallen knows the defense and the offense like a full dinner at Fogo de Chao, because this could have easily been a 4-run, not 4-run game, but he could have allowed 4 runs because of the guys on base and everything. It does.
He had a lot of hard contact tonight. Like that. Like, if there's one negative from the game, it's Gallen looked okay through 90 pitches through 5 innings. That had me a little, but first start of the year, I knew they weren't gonna push him. Get them enough. Yeah, it was pretty high up there through 5.
Last I checked, it was 85. I think when he was his last batter.
I think it was at around 85, but also they even said at the beginning of the spring that he skipped the first 2 weeks. He didn't pitch at all.
Yeah, they're gonna slow roll him.
Yes, they're gonna slow roll him. So at this point, he's not fully ready. I mean,
he finished with 90. Yeah, he finished with 90.
Also, speaking of slow rolling, I did see
Blaze Alexander
tweet. I mean, hey, blaze it up, baby. I did see, I believe, a tweet that Jordan Montgomery is going to need 2 weeks to ramp up, and then should be joining the team. So, speaking of
which was kind of expected. So what? Right now we got Gallen, Kelly, Fott,
Henry Fott, Nelson
Tommy
Swit.
Saturday. Then
Tommy Saturday. Fought Sunday.
I wonder if Erod and Montgomery may come back at the same time, because I thought I saw a report for Erod as well. He's working on long toss too.
Erod did, I believe, start throwing long toss and have 60 pitches.
No, he started from 60 feet.
I think Gabe, you're breaking up a little bit.
Yeah, I think we may have lost him there for a second, because he's frozen for me right now.
Yeah. We can wait for him to get back.
I do have another thing I want to bring up, but I want to make sure he's here. So Gabe, if you're here, try and jump out and jump back in. Wow, Kyle Freeland, 10 hits, 10 earned runs.
Dude, I'm not gonna lie, I think Bud Black left him out there to dry a little too long. I know it was opening day. I know you want to let him work through it, but after it's 5-1, 6-1 in the third, you're not taking your starter out. You got taken out when it was 8-1, 9-1.
No, well, it might have been. Hold up. When
let me double check. So first inning,
8-1, yes, but he still got charged for Suarez scoring and
Thomas
Alex
double
scoring.
Chased. Yeah, that's right. The tweet. Thomas has double chased him from the game, so it made it 8-1.
Yeah, not a
double
good
single, which he was still charged with that run, I believe.
Yeah, he was, because he was on base.
And then Cattell singled, and he was so he gave 10 runs. 10 runs in 2 1/3.
Not good. So, franchise record for the Dbacks for most runs scored in a season. 1999, 908. I know it's a bit reactionary, but we've talked about it tonight. There's not an easy out with this lineup. There really isn't. So if you take that 908 and you divide it by 162, that's 5.5 runs a game, 5.6 a game. If that offense can average 4 Gabe's prediction of 100 wins is very plausible.
Yeah, I mean that's one of the reasons why I predicted it is because I felt seeing the way the lineup was constructed. As long as we didn't keep Haven and Rivera on this team, like it was something that I saw. Like I feel like the everyday lineup, there's nothing like where I would feel, there's true weakness in the team because, like I was saying, even the supposed bottom of the lineup. I mean, you're talking about Alec Thomas who can get on base. Sure he has issues, in his career like getting hits, but when he gets on base, he usually can score or at least get to third because he can run. He can steal bags and everything. Then Perdomo too, like he just finds ways to get on base, and he always talks about how he wants to like when he gets on base to start off an inning, he always scores. That's what he says. Like he always scores, and which is true. That's what it seems like. Because then you flip the lineup over to Carroll or Marte or whoever, and they're able to just bring him in because you're putting a lot of pressure on the pitchers and everything, and it's just this is a totally different team. I said it last year. Like the D-backs are here. The D-backs aren't just here. Like they're here to stay for a while. And, I'm excited to see where this team goes. And look, I mean, Gallen barely had to work today. Like he was out there just to get, it seems like his last spring training start or something. Like it truly didn't seem like they were really working him or anything.
I think if the game were closer, they may have had him gone 6 because they thought they might need it.
Yeah.
But when you're up 16-1, you're like, all right, let's just get you to the required 5 so we can get you that dub, which is exactly what they did. He was at 90. I feel like if it was closer, they probably would have like, okay, you can go out for the 6, but it's that thing that Tori says, one guy gets on, you're gone. Like we hear it all the time with Kelly. Like Kelly is always like, he's like, I don't want to come out of the game. And sometimes Tori has to protect these guys from themselves. So it's like, okay, you want to go out there? You give up a hit or a guy on base, I'm pulling you.
It still has not fully sunk into me. I'm not trying to change subjects. But Jordan Montgomery is still an Arizona Diamondback. If we can give him this kind of run support and Brandon Pfaadt, oh my goodness.
Not just run support, but you're talking about the defense too. This defense was so freaking nasty. And that was something that Montgomery needed last year with the Cardinals. And I mentioned earlier about the defense. Like, what was the best defense in baseball last year? Like, in terms of errors? The D-backs.
Yeah, I'm not shocked by that because
it was number 2.
That defense is the no-fly defense. Like, good luck trying to get a ball. Like,
in terms of errors. Yeah, errors.
Yeah.
The best team, D-backs, was number 2.
Rangers.
The Rangers, at which Jordan Montgomery had a 2.47 ERA or whatever that was with them.
Yeah, 2.4 and he's like a 2.07 in the playoffs.
Yeah, so it's a guy that's like he relies on ground balls and pop-ups and flyouts.
That man dominated Yordan Alvarez. I just want to say something that Robbie Ray and other guys couldn't do.
Robbie Ray definitely couldn't do that. Yordan Alvarez broke Robbie Ray, y'all.
Yeah, but I mean, again, if there's one of like 4 people in baseball to break a pitcher and be like kind of like, it was probably gonna happen, Yordan Alvarez is definitely one of them.
So yeah, I'm hoping Gallen's next start. Like he didn't look bad in the first. He just gave up a lot of hard contact. His actual expected batting average was 328 tonight.
I didn't see a lot of you can correct me if I don't feel like I saw a lot of fastballs. I feel like there's a lot of curveballs, a lot of cutters, sliders.
He threw a lot of off speed today, which is something he didn't do during spring training.
Yeah, so like maybe
and he mentioned that he didn't. Yeah, he said he didn't want to show it off just yet during spring training. Obviously, to not let them get eyes on it. I think he was mostly working through what feels good, what doesn't feel good, because I mean that's something that we saw with Greinke. He would start off throwing the kitchen sink at the guys until he finally like settled in this third inning when he found so the cutter's working today, the fastball's working today, whatever it was. I will say his fastball's around 92. I think that's what I'm saying. Like he's still ramping up. I think it'll take anywhere from 3 to 4. Probably by the end of April, we'll have vintage Zach Gallen. And because, I mean, he pitched 230, 240 innings last year in total, right?
So
240
I'm taking a look
almost.
on StatCast. So 90 pitches, 7% were fastballs, 14 was a slider, 17%.
I'm sorry. Did you say
Is it
7%?
Yes.
7?
Sorry, cutter.
Not
So
7.
Okay.
Okay.
Sorry.
I was like, oh, what?
I misread it. So 53% were four seam, 7%, well, 7.8 cutter, 6.7 changeup, 14.4 slider, and then 17.8 was the curveball. So
Yeah, there's a lot of curveballs, man. That makes
Yeah.
sense because there was a lot of ones being spiked in the dirt, which again, yeah, I'd rather have
9
you spike it
hard to
in the
hit.
dirt.
So yeah, he definitely was going with his breaking stuff tonight, though. Like a lot of curveballs and sliders tonight. So yeah, it's probably one of those things. Yeah, he missed the first 2 weeks, so he's probably going to take these first couple of starts to work on some other stuff. It's just you don't want to see it with games that count, though.
I think the Yankees game will be a very good test of what
should
he's
have.
how early he's willing to break out his full arsenal and attack guys.
He would be pitching Tuesday, right?
Tuesday, yep.
Tuesday, yeah.
Tuesday.
Which anybody that's going to be at the next 3 Yankees games for that series, find me. I'll be there.
So, but it's the first start of the year. I'm not that worried. He has 29, 30 more, so I think he'll be just fine. We've seen Gallen do this before. He'll struggle for a start or two, and then he'll just go on this insane tear for 2 months where he literally is a top 5 pitcher. That's why I predicted 20 plus wins and a Cy Young for him this year. So very excited.
He's already at 1 of 20 tonight, so there's a good start.
Yeah.
Yes, very good start. Let's talk about Blaze Alexander, who made the opening day roster. Congratulations. Very well deserved. He absolutely destroyed it in spring. I'm
blazed his path to the majors, you could say.
Oh my God. This man. And he got kind of gypped on his first at bat, y'all. That strikeout pitch, that last pitch was not a strike. Not a strike. It was 3 or 4 inches inside. So he kind of felt bad. But next at bat, he did very well. He got his first career hit. And I wouldn't be surprised if he's the DH for when there's a lefty on the mound.
Yeah, I was a little surprised. I actually was surprised that they put Blaze in today. I knew Freeland's a lefty, but I was kind of expecting them to put in Jock anyways. But, I mean, I was really, really happy to see Blaze. I mean, probably because his family's going to be there and everything, so, might as well make it special. I mean, Michelle, you got two hits, right?
Or it could also be because Jock's splits against left-handed pitchers is awful.
Yeah, so he went 2 for 5. When I was playing, even today,
2 for 5, right?
Okay, nice. Even today when I was playing MLB, and thankfully MLB did not have the most accurate rosters, and they had Cal Quantrill as the opening day roster or opening day starter, because that let me have a 450-foot piss missile with Jock Peterson, which hopefully we'll see tomorrow against Cal Quantrill or whoever the Rockies starter is.
Yes, Cal is. Yeah, Cal's starting tomorrow.
That makes sense. But yeah, say it's I could kind of understand why Torrey went with at least Blaze, especially after spring where you have a decent track record of Jock versus lefties. Yeah, you have him here, but you also brought him here to face righties. Grichuk's not here to face righties yet. Blaze killed it in spring. Give him a shot.
He's been hot. Let him That's the thing that I'm worried about with Blaze.
That bat. You can't let that bat sit on the bench with how he was. I know spring stats are meaningless, but with Cattell, with Blaze, some of those guys, when they're on a roll, they're on a roll.
His confidence right now is extremely high, and you gotta just keep that.
Ride the wave.
You got to do it for as long as you can. So I wouldn't be surprised if every lefty is Blaze. So hopefully because that's going to be his thing is consistent at bats, and that's what happens with a lot of young guys, a lot of young players. If they don't become a starter, they don't get those consistent at bats. I mean, I thought that's why Jordan Lawler didn't make it. Later, we found out it was because of injury. That's why Jordan is not on the roster. All right, I personally think that might be the reason why they sent him down so early. Is they knew then, yeah, you're out for 2 months at least. So
It also makes sense why he struggled in the spring a little bit.
Yeah, it does. So,
but it also, if he didn't have that injury while he was playing in the spring breakout and he had a double, imagine hitting a double off the wall with one hand. That's all I got to say.
Pure strength. So yeah, I'm hoping we see a lot of Blaze because he hit a freaking piss missile. What was that, Monday or Tuesday? Tuesday, right? Because that was the game no one got to watch.
Against day game against the Guardians.
It hit it into cold beers and cheeseburger. Just absolutely destroyed it.
Yeah, I wanted to mention that real quick. I've been seeing some weird conspiracies about that, talking about the juice ball, but it was windy that day. When the roof is open, the ball flies. I mean, if that was the case, we would have seen so many home runs today. I mean, Perdomo couldn't even hit it out. Like,
yeah,
there's clearly not juice balls, or else everyone would have a homer. I mean, like I said, 14 runs with no homers. If there was an actual conspiracy about the balls this time, like, we would have seen something about it today.
Yeah. So like, I also kind of like how Perdomo does the Adrian Beltre knee drop. For a guy that doesn't have the power of Adrian Beltre, to do an Adrian Beltre knee drop on like any ball you hit to the like deep outfield is such a big dick move that after watching the Snakes Alive documentary, I love that Domo does it. Do it, Domo. Do it more. You got that energy. Keep doing it, please.
I think if the third inning we saw a lot of slugging, so like double after double or like 2 or 3 home runs, the juice ball conspiracy I could buy into. It was singles, y'all. It was single. Like,
there were not that many hard hit balls either. Like Gabby's like double down the line was kind of a jam shot that he just like kept fair. I
mean, Catel's were hit hard at around 110 miles an hour, but they're all grounders.
Yeah. Is that the one to Tovar where he made a really nice play, but just didn't like?
I think he had 2. A couple of them were around 110.
He started 3 for 3 in like 4 innings, 3 innings. So, yeah. But no, I thought I said this at the beginning last year. Like, they had a very rough first 8 games because they played the Dodgers twice and the Padres. So I was like, if they can get through this going like 4-4, 5-3, they could ride this. Same thing this year. Their schedule's not as difficult to start the year, but if you start, I think the first 2 weeks and you play well, that confidence, you could ride that wave for the next 2 months, which is what they did last year.
Their schedule this year is actually pretty tough to start, not gonna lie. Like tough as in like they're not facing many teams that were below 500 last year.
Unlike I don't know if you looked at the Baltimore after the first month could be 25-5. Like, that schedule is
more competition they can face, please. Sorry.
So, so I think I'm trying to be a little confident here. I think a lot of Dbacks fans saw Brett's video, because did they bring the vibes tonight, y'all?
It was really nice in there, man. Like,
I was.
It was the whole vibe of it was really nice. There was a lot of energetic Dbacks fans, even in the concourse, in the team shop, everywhere. It was just a good. It wasn't the normal opening day energy.
No,
I don't know how to describe it. It was different.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. So I'm just so glad baseball's here. It's gonna be it's gonna be so great. I'm still on the, I think, 90 and 72. I think 90 and 72 is very much in play.
Mhm.
Because I had it at 87, and then I'm like, Jordan Montgomery, that's probably like 3 or 4 more wins. So that's why I was like, I think 90 is that sweet spot. I hope Gabe's right. I hope we win 101, because that's a franchise record. 101 would be a franchise record.
I have a
We win
102.
101, we probably set that team record for runs, too. Because that's what that's what it's going to take. And then you can't say it's a fluke last year, because I can understand last year going to the playoffs why people say us getting in was a fluke. If you looked at our run differential, we shouldn't have been in those games.
But I mean, also, I was thinking about it today. I get run differential is a big thing, but take tonight's game for a very good example. The Rockies, no very, anything towards them, but the Rockies are dog shit. Like, we should be having this run differential where, we could have 4 games in a row where they get shut out 3-0, 4-0, 5-0, and we'll still have a good run differential.
They're gonna lose
the offense is
100
okay.
games.
Oh no, 100%. But that's where I'm like, I don't like run differential. I think is a little bit overblown. Like, I know a lot of people made that a big deal. Or like, oh, they have a negative run differential. Okay, yes, just like a lot of things, you can look at stats on paper and they don't look good. When you actually watch the games and look at especially one of the things that, because you brought it up, about last year, one of the things that tilted me the most about last year was people being like, oh, well, if you take all the Dbacks 1-run games and all the games that they're expected to lose and that they won and you flip it around, I'm like, okay, cool. Guess what? That's not how fucking sports work. You can't do that. Cope all you want. You can't just undo shit. You can't just go into a video game like you're like, oh, I'm going to redo this so they didn't save yet. No, that's not how it works. You can't just be like, well, they shouldn't have made the playoffs because if you do this math, you take this, subtract this, add this, divide it by this, it means that they were a bad team. See how that means they didn't mean to make it? Like, no. Fuck run differential. Yes, it's good. It's a good thing to know, like, your offense is good. It's not, it doesn't mean dick.
Look at the Padres.
You know how we had a jar for me for being able to say Alec Thomas, right? We need to have a swear jar for Brett, because dear Lord.
I don't know. Some things just give me a little heated, and that's one of them.
Yeah.
I mean,
thank
the
goodness
run
we're on YouTube.
The run differential stuff, I'm like, we had Madbaum and Davies last year. Like, they were pitched, 30 games, and every single one of those games, they allowed, like, 7 runs each. Like, I mean, I don't know. They scored so many runs during those games, and, again, even with the bullpen and everything, it matters to some extent to show how good the offense is. But you have teams like the Padres had 150 differential or something crazy like that,
and they're terrible in 1-run games, which is the one thing that.
If you like what was saying, if you want to cherry pick stats, if you took their record in 1-run games and extra innings, and you just say they won like 4 or 5 of those, they're in the playoffs instead of us.
And that's the beautiful thing about baseball is you can do that. I feel like you can do that with this sport more than you can do with football and basketball. You can just, where people go open day, oh, it's just one game, it doesn't matter. That's why you have spring training. That's why you have the regular season. The regular season, there's 162 games. Every single game matters.
So
yeah, I mean, that's what fans always say, though. Whenever there's a loss, people are like, oh, it's only the first month of the season, blah, blah, blah. This matters. Look at last year. We were so lucky that they started off hot, because those last 2 months were so freaking bad that, like,
August was rough. August was a rough month if you were a Diamondback fan, because a lot of people say, "Oh, this is normal Arizona sports stuff," and I was like,
it was exceptionally bad.
I was like, I think we were like 3 games back of the final wild card. I'm like, it's still possible. Like, we just gotta have.
We were
like
6. We got up to 6.
Wow, I didn't think it was that bad.
It was bad, yeah.
So, but no, really good game 1. We got game 2 tomorrow. Merrill Kelly versus Cal Quantrill. I expect Jock to be in the starting lineup tomorrow because it is a righty. And we know that he's most likely going to start against all righties. I'm curious if they're going to keep... Domo, maybe. Like, I want them to keep riding the wave of Blaze because he's playing so well right now. Like, I just like you can't sit him on the bench, but who are you gonna sit?
Yeah,
Domo looked
Domo
good today.
Domo
Suarez,
faces righties better. So like I think it's
yeah,
gonna be one of those where it sucks to sit him, but even kind of like in spring, he didn't play every day. Like it's not gonna be like that big of a change to where like the routine he's had the last month, to where the Tory can be like, hey, chill for a day. Like again, stay ready. You'll probably be a bench bat. I could see probably one of the first ones, but I don't. Again, the way the Tory said Domo won or Domo is gonna be the opening day shortstop. He showed today he can hit lefties.
well, that was before they saw what Blaze did. So he's like, ooh.
Even I agree, but that's where I'm like, Domo showed out really well against lefties, and we know that he doesn't hit lefties as well as he does righties.
Yep.
And even the one that he had against a righty, he barely missed a home run by like 10 feet. So I think he's going to start tomorrow. I see Blaze being maybe like a bench bat, or like a late pinch hitter replacement for maybe Domo if they bring in like a tough lefty out of the pen. I don't know who the Rockies have. That's a lefty, but
they're very right hand heavy.
yeah, I'll say like I know like one of their nastier pitchers out of the pen is Justin Lawrence.
He's a righty.
He's a righty. Yeah, he's a righty. So that's why maybe there's not too many opportunities, especially after tonight. I don't know. The Rockies kind of use some of their, I know not maybe their high leverage, but they used at least 3 of their bullpen guys that they probably didn't want to.
Yeah, we're gonna have to. I think it's fine if Blaze sits for 1 or 2. Like if he goes on this stretch where he starts once a week, that could potentially cool his bat, and I want him to be set up to succeed. Like I don't want them to just have him here. I was like, okay, yeah, you're here, but we're not really gonna play you because you're not playing at second. That's going to Cattell. Like,
yeah,
I was surprised that they put Cattell at second because I feel like Blaze is probably better defensively, and like you would think they would want to save Marte his legs. So I was very surprised when I saw Blaze in the DH spot. But it could be something like later in the year is where they start to put Cattell in the DH more, so that he's fresh for September.
There are a lot of, because I'm looking at the projected starters. So obviously tomorrow, Cal Quantrill. Saturday, they have Austin Gomber, who's a lefty, so Blaze most likely going to start. Sunday, looks like they got Feltner, who's a righty. And then Monday against the Yankees, it's to be decided, but if it's going off the schedule, the Yankees opening day starter was Nestor Cortez. So there's a lefty. Hopefully Blaze
he would start Tuesday.
Monday is, I think, when Nestor's pitching, isn't he? No, sorry, you're right. Tuesday. Well, because we have a 4-game series, so Monday would be. You're right. Sorry, Tuesday. I am mistaken. You're right. Tuesday.
It just depends on how they do it. Like, do they do it every 5 days, or is it every 5 games? Like, there are some teams that do it that way.
They might just have him be a genuine replacement until a Grichuk gets back. Like, hey, if there's a lefty, you're the DH.
Yeah.
Or you're the shortstop. Either way, but at least there's 2 chances in the next 4 or 5 days for Blaze to get another starting spot.
Yeah. There's also we're playing 7 games in a row. Like I expect most of these guys to sit at least one of these games. Yeah. 7 games in a row is a lot, especially to start off a season. So I'm expecting, at least one of these guys to DH like anywhere. Any of these guys,
I would like to see Tucker start at least 2 games in the next week. Because I want Gabby to be fresh. And I think unless Tucker like struggles and like he comes in and we saw what happened last year when Gabby wasn't in and this team was completely different, then if that happens, then you're like you have to put Gabby behind the plate. But I feel like Tucker's gonna do a pretty good job. So just win this series against the Rockies. That's all I ask. Don't split. Don't lose it. Just win. Just win 3 games. Like for me, win every series. You win every series, you're gonna be in the playoffs. It's just It's just how math works. Like you're gonna be winning 60% of your
Legitimately, yeah.
games. So
Breaking news: if you have a over 500 winning percentage, nearly 6, good chance you make the playoffs. D-backs
So-
dispatch. D-backs dismatch or dismath. There you go.
wow.
Yeah.
But no, I
You guys-
think
you're here for the jokes. I know it.
and I also said this today. They should be doing this against a team like the Rockies. You need to demolish these teams that
Yeah.
you are leagues better than.
That's what like top teams in the league do. They go out
You don't
there.
have to win
they-
16-1. You can
No,
win
yeah,
like
but you-
7-3, 8. Like
Yeah,
it needs
like, you
to
go
be
out there and you assert
clear.
dominance.
Yeah. So I think they're gonna do that. And tomorrow, maybe not. Cal Quantrill's a decent pitcher. I thought Kyle Freeland was too, but we saw that happen tonight.
Big cock jock is gonna make that man walk back to the dugout tomorrow after 2 home runs. On and out.
When they announced him today, I'm like, yeah, big jock.
I
Because
told my mom.
I
had
was
told
by
my
kids.
actual
I was
mom,
like, I can't say
"Hey,
that.
You know, just in case you know, one of his nicknames in some of the community is Big Cock Jock. And my mom just started dying, and then they announced his name literally right then. I didn't know he was next. They announced his name right then, and I was like, "Let's go, Jock!" And I was like, "I'm not gonna say it. I'm not gonna do the nickname." And she was like, "Thank you, please." Like, I
Well,
was
yeah,
like,
because there could be kids
Yeah.
around.
again, that's where I'm like, I have a filter, just like you can be energetic and have a filter. That's how you be a respectful, energetic sports fan. And there was a lot of that tonight at the game, and I loved it. I loved it.
So, Gabe, any thoughts for game 2?
None of the runs carry over. None of the wins carry over. Tomorrow, it's still 0-0.
Yep.
Doesn't matter what happened today. They got to show up and show out the same way they did today. Obviously, I'm not expecting for them to score 16 tomorrow, but they got to win tomorrow. They got to come out. They got to set the tone again. Merrill, I trust him a lot, hoping he can go 6, even 7, just with the way he's been pitching lately. But yeah, I mean, being able to get out on top, especially in this division, you got to win as many games as you can, especially against a team like the Rockies. Because if you split against the Rockies, I guarantee you the Dodgers are going to win 13-0 against them, in the series, and even the Padres and the Giants. Like, these are the games you have to win, because you're going to be splitting and losing a lot of series against the Dodgers, the Phillies, the Braves. Like, these are the games you have to win. So hopefully I would hope they sweep, but
Sweep would
3-1
be so
is
nice.
And that's something they struggled with last year. They just couldn't never finish the sweep. Over and over and over again, they'd have the lead in the last game of the series, and then the bullpen would come in, blow it up, whatever would happen. They could not sweep last year. So hopefully they're able to set the tone, sweep the Rockies this week, face off against the Yankees, who they won today, but they're scuffling a little bit. They have
It'll be a
one
scrappy
starting
bunch.
pitcher. Yeah. So, it is what it is. Hopefully, the fans show tomorrow too. I'm sure that the team will appreciate that too. So go out, support the team, cheer them on, yell, big cock jock, whatever. Doesn't matter. F them kids. Like, just say whatever you want. Yeah.
Maybe not that. Maybe call it, honestly, if you want to keep it kid friendly, just big walk jock. Big walk jock. We know what it means, but it's not cussing, so nobody can say anything. So maybe big walk jock.
All right, Brett, any final thoughts for game 2?
So the only thing I have to say is I looked up Merrill Kelly's stats versus the Rockies in his career. He has a career record of 5-3 with a 3.89 ERA, 67 strikeouts in 12 games. He has not lost a game against the Rockies since 2021. He has 4 wins and 4 no decisions. In every single game dating back to 2021, he has not given up more than 2 runs. So if you're going by up until his last loss. So ever since his last loss against the Rockies in 2021, 2 runs, 1, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1. So he's got a pretty good track record. I know the Rockies lineup this year is a little different, but I've got some pretty good confidence that with the aggressiveness from the Rockies' young hitters, I think he's going to be able to take advantage of with his off speed. I think his changeup and his sinker is going to work really well tomorrow. I just have a feeling that he's going to be throwing those front door sinkers to lefties that are like Charlie Blackmon, lead off the game, front door sinker, 1-2 count, paint the black, strike 3, calling it out. Just saying.
As long as they don't have Tapia, who is Barry Bonds incarnate when they play against us.
Good Lord, man.
No, but he is not there anymore.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm just so glad that he's not there anymore.
Dude, you are not wrong. He destroyed us. And I don't. Yeah. And it was only us.
Tapia was our dad. Tapia was basically what Matt Kemp was to Archie Bradley in 2018, but just every year.
So, so it was a very, very fun, exciting first game of the year. Diamondbacks were on pace for 162-0. Just saying. Lourdes Gurriel on pace for like 800 RBI. So you love to see it. We all know they're not going to keep up the pace, but it's always fun to have wild reactions after the first game of the year. Everyone, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Make sure to go ahead and give us a follow on all of our socials so you can stay up to date on all of our content. We tweet a lot now. We tweet quite a bit now that we're in season. Very excited. We'll see y'all next time.